Before jersey swaps and off-season group chats, Stark says NBA respect worked very differently. Listen to how he explains the line between playoff pressure, street ball instincts, and surviving as an undrafted guard.
Smart ones understand how to do it. It got so bad with the step back. I remember James Harden, he did a step back. It was like a 7-step back. Referee was looking at each other. Yeah, man, we got to call that, man. That's trapping. We got to call that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's totally different. I enjoy watching the game.
Yeah.
I enjoy the fast pace of the game. I always tell people I played in a league like this before I got to the Knicks. Was the World Basketball League. It was a league for 6'5" and unders, but we had guys in there 6'7", 6'8", 6'9" in there, and it was just fast pace, just the way they play now. And it was fun to play in, you know what I mean? So I can understand the joy that these guys have, but basketball, from a park standpoint, it was played like we played in the 90s. You know, you had to go in there and you had to be physical as guards. You know, when you came through that lane, you're going to get cracked. And the referees ain't going to say nothing. You know what I mean? You know you got to take your licks. And I can always remember Larry Bird always saying, this league separate the men from the boys. It's not that way no more. You know, you got teenagers in here now. You know, when I came in the league, the average age was probably about 26, 27. Now it's probably about 22, you know, at the most. And so it's a different league. The talent level is incredible. You know, you look at, you know, these young guys coming in here, it's just amazing because I think it's the same thing in football. The training is starting at a younger age.
Yep.
You know, I didn't lift a weight until I think I got in college. You know what I mean? Football players, y'all obviously y'all lift weights, but from a basketball standpoint, we didn't lift weights. You know, you just practice. Yeah, you just go out there and hoop. Now they just at a young age, man. So they getting that training that they need, and so it's going to be even better, I think. You know, you look at Wemby, you know, 7 foot, what, 7'6"?
Yep.
Crazy.
They got them dunk. They dunk now. The game is so different. I want to ask you, in listening to you talk. You know, we had Patrick on the show recently. That's actually how I got in contact with you. And listening to you talk, man, like it's like this brother from the South.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's more evident to me now than it was when I used to watch you on TV. I mean, you come to the Mecca, right? Madison Square Garden, man, is a different deal. The other stars in the league talk about playing there, right? They want to put their best foot forward when they play there. For you, what was that adjustment like, getting used to the bright lights in the big city, coming from where you came from undrafted?
I tell people I played at Golden State first, and so I was kind of used to the city life. But the Garden is different, man. It's a different animal. The pressure that you have to play on under there is just like no other city I've been in. I've been in Golden State. I've been in Utah. I've been in Chicago. Those 3 cities right there is nothing compared. Not even LA compares to the pressure that you play under every single day. You know, you scrutinize. I can remember when I was playing here, you had about 20, 30 reporters in the locker room. When I went to Golden State, you had about 3, 4. You know what I mean? So and they all friendly. You know what I mean? Oh, everything's nice. Well, you did that? Okay, I did. You know, so everything's friendly. New York, nah. You got to be built for this. You know, mentality-wise, you got to be built for it. And you got to be a little insane in a sense. And so, but it fits my personality. New York do. And so I just relish in that moment, just playing in that building every single night when you come out through that tunnel, because you know every time we stepped out there on the court, you're going to get the opponent's best game, no matter who it is. They could be 1-18. When they step in the Garden, they gonna bring it, and you know they're going to bring it. So you have to be ready for that.
Talking about that competitiveness, you brought up the Heat. I remember them fights.
Yeah.
Reggie Miller with them boys. Because nadays players do jersey exchange and DM each other and all. Did y'all really dislike each other? Like, what did y'all? You didn't like Reggie?
No, he didn't like me. I didn't like him. I didn't like Indiana. They didn't like us. And just, you know, I think it comes back from AAU.
Yeah.
All these guys play together. They play against one another all the time growing up. So they develop a friendship. When I came up, AAU wasn't like it is now. And so I didn't know nobody when I stepped into this league. You know, outside a couple of my guys that went to the league, like Anthony Bowie, Wayman Tisdale, guys like that who I grew up with. But other than that, I didn't know anybody. And so, and back then, you had to gain respect. Guys wasn't giving it to you, you know what I mean? Because that's jobs back then. The money wasn't that great. First starting out, I can remember I made $100,000 my first year, and I thought it was like, man, gold. You know what I mean? Coming from where I came from. Y'all rich now. And started living in LA, and I started seeing chop, taxes, living expense, this and that. I'm like, $10,000, that's what we going home with, baby. So it was totally different back then, but you had to earn your respect. These guys wasn't giving it up. And same thing in football. You know, you got to earn your respect, because when you step out on that court, you know that in order for you to stay in this league, they're going to test your manhood. Back then. They're going to test your manhood, see if you really belong here, see if you really want this smoke. And so Reggie was the same way. You know what I mean? He had to go through it. So he's basically trying to like come at me like that. You know what I mean? And but I had to straighten all that out.
When
you know?
headbutted him,
I had to straighten out.
John, that if you did that today,
you gone.
They'd put you in jail. You'd be in NBA jail if you headbutted one of the stars of the league. When you're in that moment with Reggie, and
it's a playoff game.
Yeah, it's a playoff game. You get ejected. When you're in that moment, what's going on between you two where you say, okay, this is enough?
Bro, you know, everybody play ball in the park, and once these come up and hit you, there's a warning. And the next time it hits you, then it's like, okay, bro. I went to the referee. I told the referee, I said, hey, he hit me with bowls. And they say, shut up and play, John. And I was like, oh, okay, I can handle this. I got that ball, went down and scored on him. He was running back up court, man. I got close, man. Bro, everything inside of me said, please don't hit this man. Everything inside of me, I know it's a playoff game, don't hit this man. And he just got close to me, and everything just came up. I'm, bow! Dude. You know what I mean? I'm like, then after that, I never had no more problems with Reggie for the rest of my career. He stopped all the shenanigans. You know what I mean? We never had no more problems, but that's what you had to do back in the day. You had to like get your respect somehow. You know, either you're gonna get it with your game, or you gonna let them know I ain't playing.
A headbutt do that.
That's running from my troubled past. That's what that was coming back around. That don't show up on the study and the research. They're just seeing jumpers. But talking about mentality and having to earn your keep, but as a, undrafted player, you got the stars of the league. They're gonna try you even more.
Yeah.
And if you and RC both can speak to the mentality of an undrafted player, because RC was undrafted.
Yes.
But
bro, you come in there, you hungry. You know what I mean? And the most important thing is that you got to believe in yourself.
Was this real competitiveness or just a part of the old NBA that needed to disappear? Leave your take in the comments and like and subscribe for more clips like this.